stream. Hey guys, it's Gina Elliott here. I'm getting ready to start our stream. I'm just kind of waiting on everybody else to get here. And hopefully you guys watched our last episode. Dani should be coming on next. I'm going to talk to Lucy. And I think Linda Mihalec is also going to join us. If you are a female that does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or grappling in the Kentuckiana area, send me a message and we'll see if we can't get you out a link as well. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started and wait for everybody to join us. Looks like 1 o'clock was the start time. I was a little late. Took me a minute to get everything going. But it's always a lot of fun doing these broadcasts, kind of seeing what's going on with everybody. And we're going to talk about some different things today, see what everybody's been up to, see what everybody's kind of got going on, and see how the quarantine's going. It's I know a lot of people are kind of getting bored with it. Still uncertain if we're going to be doing this all the way through June. Really not sure, not certain. So I guess we'll have to kind of play it out, wait and see. But we'll find out what some other people are doing to kind of bide the time while they are in their quarantine. I think Linda's actually still working pretty consistently. So we'll talk to her a little bit about that and let us know what you guys are doing to keep your time busy. Oh, hey, it's Miss Mihalec.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome.
See, that wasn't that hard.
It wasn't. Lucy and Dani haven't joined us yet, but we'll go ahead and chit-chat a little bit. Anybody that's watching know that Linda and I are teammates for 10th Planet Richmond. She's purple belt. Been training. How long have you been training? 4 years? 5 years? Something like that.
I've been training for almost 6 years.
Oh, wow. There you go. So I see you're at work today.
Yes. I'm going to find a good spot to set this at so you can see me. And I don't have to hold it the entire time.
Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what you do?
I work in with the National Guard as a civilian contractor. So I work with the CST WMD teams, they call them. So they look for chemical, biological warfare agents, any kind of threats. So I've gotten a lot of opportunities to do different interesting things with them. They're at, for example, our Kentucky CST goes to Thunder over Louisville just to scan the area, make sure there's a big crowd over there, make sure everything's safe. Nobody's trying to detonate something crazy over there. So they scan, and you probably actually have never even noticed them. They're over at the Boston Marathon, the Super Bowl, when the Pope came into town, any kind of big crowd you could imagine. All the states have them, and sometimes the states will team up with each other, like Tennessee might come and help the Kentucky team during Thunder over Louisville. So I help them with their equipment. So we train them on how to use the equipment. We repair their equipment. We help them with any kind of issues they might have while they're in the field. So like I'm sitting in a truck right now, so it's nice and quiet. I've got these little mobile laboratories. And you can just go ahead and they'll collect a sample and then they'll run it up in this mobile laboratory.
So, Thunder over Louisville, I've actually been once. I didn't even really know it existed. I just happened to be at Joe's one day and they were talking about renting out their patio so that you could view Thunder over Louisville. It wasn't something that I was aware of. So one year I actually went and I got lucky and got a motel like right downtown. It was a really, really neat experience. I don't think a lot of people realize goes on there. But for you, like you talk about working Thunder over Louisville, what's one of the more interesting, I guess, projects you've had other than outside of the Thunder over Louisville?
So probably something that when I first started with KD, actually, that was super interesting to me was I got to, because we also have other contracts other than the National Guard. We're a civilian company, and we work with different various contracts. So I got to work with NOAA, and I got to go out on a NOAA boat when the Gulf oil spill happened. The Gulf oil spill was a really big deal back 10 years ago when BP spilled a bunch of oil in the Gulf, and we were looking for chemical dispersants and oil in the water. What would happen? They would get really in a jam because they would take samples of water and they would send it to onshore laboratories, and then they would find out 2 weeks later, oh, that spot that might have dispersant, or oil, that's a spot of interest that you sampled from right there 2 weeks ago. Can you get more sampling from that spot? And it's like the boat's already moved on. It was just a bad system. So they realized, well, there's this company, the National Guard uses real time. They can come up with an answer for us in 15 minutes. So we couldn't come up with exactly what was in the water. It was outside the range of our instruments, but we could tell them there was something in the water. So we could sit there and sample in real time. We could let the boat sit for 15 minutes, and we could say, hey, there is something in this water here. We think, let's take extra samples while we're right here. And then we can send it to the lab for confirmation.
Nice. So we talked a minute ago about how you've been training with me for quite a while. You're an Invicta fighter. Obviously you're getting to work some, so you're not going stir crazy like some of us that are sitting at home all the time.
Yeah.
But, the gym is closed. So for you, like, how's the solo training going?
I think it's going really well. Of course, the gym being closed is devastating to anybody that loves to train. I've always been a long time distance runner, so I'm still getting out there and running. I'm actually just recovering off of an injury, so just getting going with my running and picking things up has given me some motivation, and that's something that I can do on my own. My husband went and hung the bag in our garage, so I've got a heavy bag to work on, and shadow boxing. I've got jiu-jitsu drills, and I'm lucky enough to have a husband that can hold pads for me, that can drill with me. So we've got our mat set up out on the back porch. We can drill together. I've been working on going back and thinking about really simple stuff. What do I really need to focus on? Just a lot of reps of maybe trying to get my jab or jab cross down a little bit better, a little bit of footwork, things like that, things that, I don't think about that I really need to go back and work on. And taking that time that I should have taken maybe a long time ago to just get a really good jab down, I'm doing that now. And so that's been a nice opportunity to do something like that and to really drill, just guard passing. Everybody always feels like, well, you've done X amount of guard passes in class, and now I really have a training partner, and I can sit down for an hour and just go over 3 different guard passes that I really like, and then see if I can get those down a little bit better. Just kind of really trying to fine tune the basics right now is what I've been working on.
So, you mentioned like trying to fine tune your jab and things like that. I guess what I'd want to know is, you're still working out, you're still kind of trying to stay with, everything with your training. Are you hoping that you'll be able, hey Danny, to fight as, when this quarantine's lifted soon after? Like, how are you kind of feeling about that opportunity?
I think I'm always hoping to fight. However, I'm not looking to fight immediately when the quarantine lifts. I feel like your gym is extremely important. And we've gotten lucky enough that our gym is putting out videos on Facebook, instructional videos, and Sifu Scott is really helping us out the best that he can during this time. And I have my husband to drill with instead of a pillow, so that's really helping me. But honestly, I feel like nothing is like a 6-week, 8-week training camp with your team. Free rolling, sparring, you can't replace that. So I'm looking to fight as soon as this quarantine is lifted, but I'm looking more to get back right in my gym when this quarantine is lifted, and then think about a fight.
What about competing in jiu-jitsu? Like, how quickly would you jump into that?
I think competing in jiu-jitsu, honestly, I would jump right back into that. I don't feel there's as big of a risk or danger of getting seriously injured. So getting back into a jiu-jitsu tournament, why not? I feel like jiu-jitsu tournaments are always something that you win some, you lose some, and you might as well take an opportunity when you can get it.
So we asked the people that were on here last week if there's no vaccine and you're not 100% sure that if you've already had it, you're immune, and there's also no cure, but they decided to open everything back up tomorrow, how soon would you be back to training if your gym opened up?
If my gym is open, I'm going to be there. I'm not super concerned for myself about this, and I don't have a lot of exposure to people that should be very concerned. And I feel like, yes, if I have a grandparent that I'm really worried about, then yes, I will actually probably be back at my gym. And however, I would be more careful about how I exposed myself to my grandparent or something like that. I feel like I need to live my life the way I need to live my life. So I'm excited to get back to things as soon as I can.
Dani, what are you up to? I think I know what you're up to. Go ahead and tell us, Dani. What are you up to? This bitch getting a tattoo. I can't hear her. Can you hear her?
No.
We don't mind the buzz. Dani's just over here like living her best life during the quarantine. Like, come fucking tattoo me.
I've got a bit of a buzz going on in my background too. I had to find a nice quiet spot where nobody would bother me too much.
Yeah, you're at work, so you're on company time a little bit here. I'll see what's up with her sound. I don't think it's us. I think she's got herself muted. What are you getting, Dani? I thought she clicked on. I'm eager to know what do you think she's getting, Linda?
Oh, I have no idea. Maybe she's getting a jiu-jitsu tattoo. She's going through withdrawals. She's got to do something to do with jiu-jitsu.
She's probably got getting that purple belt tattooed around her ankle saying living on a prayer.
Poor Dani. Aww.
You know, if you're close, it was like pushed back further now because how are we going to know? Although Brittany Bay's got her blue belt. What's so funny is we were on here talking to her last week, and I'm like, so don't you think you'll get your blue belt? She's like, no, hell no. And then she ended up getting it.
I guess you never kind of see it coming for sure.
Well, I guess some people do, but other people don't. I've sent out quite a few invites to see who else would like to join us. We still can't hear Dani, but I think she's keeping us on mute. She'd rather communicate verbally or non-verbally through finger. Oh, she's
gonna redo it.
She's gonna redo it. But anyways, so Linda, we know how Dani's spending her Trump money. How are you gonna spend your Trump money?
Actually, I'm saving it. I don't have anything particular to do with it, so I'm saving it. I regularly go out to the local restaurants, so I'll probably just keep trying to spend it at my local restaurants and stuff that are open.
You no jiu-jitsu tattoos for you?
No tattoos for me. I like tattoos on other people, but I'm afraid of the commitment.
If you were gonna get a tattoo though, if you've had like that moment where you've considered it? I'm sure we all have. Like, if you've ever considered it, what did you consider?
I don't know. I really like those women that have those pretty flowers, like the Hawaiian flowers that go down their arms. I like like really colorful, pretty Hawaiian flowers, but I'm not sure that I'm that committed to it or that it would look right on me. I just think those look pretty on some people.
Yeah, that's not what I was expecting you to say. I was expecting you to say like you would get the wings. What's that Greek god that ran all the time? That he's like
like the
Nike?
running wings or something.
I mean, isn't his name Nike or no?
I don't know. Maybe that's where Nike came from.
Maybe somebody in the chat room tell us what's the name of that.
It sounds educated.
Well, I did forego formal education.
I'll never live that
down. So since you and me we'll talk a little bit, and neither one of us get into it too much, like I probably like to dress up more between the two of us. Everywhere I look right now is the Don't Rush Challenge.
Oh, yes, I've seen it.
How are you feeling about those?
I like to see them. I enjoy seeing everything. I think just because something's not my style or not me, I'm dressed up for work right now. I'm about as dressed up as you're going to catch me. Maybe I'll wear my hair down once in a while, but so it's not something I'm personally going to get real into or real excited about, but I enjoy seeing other people do it.
If you do it, I want to see something like very slutty.
What is I don't think I own anything really slutty. I could put on my old prom dress or something. I don't have anything slutty.
We want her to do the Don't Rush Challenge.
Actually, according to my workplace, I could just wear some running shorts. That's pretty slutty.
Yeah, we heard you, Danny.
Okay, cool.
So I'm asking her to do the Don't Rush Challenge.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool.
And if she does it, she has to wear something kind of slutty. And she says that she doesn't really have anything.
Gina,
but then you said
outfit.
Huh?
Go all Joe Exotic. Pick the outfit.
Hey! Yes. I probably got something. I gave her a bathing suit the other day. I was like, Linda, I've been keeping this for you. And
what was it?
This summer, I'd really like to see you wear it. It's very 10th Planet-y. It was black bikini triangle top, very, very small triangles, and bottoms that were black with like planets on it, but they were the cheeky bottoms.
The thing about it is, though, that I don't have a lot to fill that out, so it's not as provocative as you think it is on me.
Yeah, I think we all want to see it. But Linda, you said that according to your work, all you need to do is wear the running shorts. What's that about?
Oh, they hate me running. Well, this isn't my work. My place of employment actually. They're really good to me, Katie Analytical, but we're a subcontractor for a contractor, and in that building, those old women just hate the fact that I run at all or breathe air while running. So they complain every time I wear running shorts inside the building. God forbid.
You told me a story too that they were upset with you running because of your breathing right now.
Yeah, I was breathing too heavily, too close to the doorway of the building.
Taking up too much air.
They come up with any reason to complain about me running from work.
You're going to spread that coronavirus breathing heavy while you're out running.
I know.
So, Danny, we're very interested to hear what kind of tattoo you're getting.
Well, I don't know. I guess I can say because you'll see it soon. But I'm getting a vintage lady choking out a cop.
A vintage lady choking out a cop?
Yeah, but it's like, okay, so there's this girl named Edith. There's a documentary. I learned about, like, this, the suffragettes back in the day. Like, they were fighting for women's rights and, like, all that stuff. Well, she was, like, one of the first people. So her husband knew jujitsu from a Japanese man and taught it to her. And she, like, there's a whole movie about her, like, fighting for women's right to vote in the UK. But it was all done, like, I mean, they were facing, like, they were getting raped and stuff like that. And they started learning jiu-jitsu to try to defend themselves. So it's pretty cool. But there's, like, cool series about it, but now there's a girl rear naked choking a
So like a
vintage looking cop.
like a pinup girl.
Yeah, no, not a pinup. She's in a full length dress. So it goes all the way down to her legs because it's back in the 1900s, so they were wearing a lot different clothing than what we wear now.
What are you gonna do if you get pulled over by a police officer wearing shorts?
Well, obviously, I'm not white, so I'm probably gonna go to jail anyways. I mean, no, I didn't mean that. But no, I mean, it's not. It's under my clothes, and like honestly, it's just a tribute to women's jiu-jitsu and how versatile it is. And like,
Bitch, they're under your clothes. It's on your calf.
it is. I'm not wearing shorts all the time. Nobody's gonna look at it. But it's a good rear naked choke, I swear.
Oh,
It's gonna be great.
I like it, Dani.
What?
I like it.
I think it's gonna be cool.
I
Gina's like, what the fuck are you doing?
I have no doubts that artistically it's going to be very appealing. I
But
just question your judgment of tattooing a police officer getting choked on your body in a visible spot.
I think it's entertaining that Gina is judging you on any kind of judgment calls that you're making.
I'm not judging her. I'm just.
Gina's judging me. It's okay.
Mother Gina.
I'm not judging you. I'm just saying that it might be misunderstood.
Yeah, it's gonna be misunderstood, but it gives me a reason to talk about jiu-jitsu, so it's whatever.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
The girl has them in a clear rear naked choke, so. With a nice flower in her hair.
You said it's from is it a movie or a series? Because this sounds like
her
something
name
I'd
is
wanna
actually she has a name, like her name's Edith. And there's a whole story about her. She used to teach like a full jiu-jitsu class. Often. She teaches a full she ended up teaching like a whole women's class and like a whole women's camp, and it lasted years and years until she died, I guess. But I mean, it was in the 1900s, and it was when like police officers would not just like stop women from doing things that men could do, but they would also commit crimes against women like rape and things like that. But then women couldn't tell on them because, like, who are you going to tell? The police just did that to you.
Mm-hmm.
And no one would believe him, and there was no way to advocate. So she learned jiu-jitsu from her husband, who learned it from, like, Japan and shit like that. But, like, she started, like, teaching women these techniques. Kimura was big. A rear naked choke was big. Stuff that's kind of, like, more simple. I can tell by the photos and the drawings and actual photos from that time. Like, I mean, they are doing, like, a form of jiu-jitsu. Because you see the arm locks there, the Kimura is like they have the arm in the Kimura, so they figured that out. But I think it's really cool. So it's not exactly anti-police as much as it is like
pro-woman.
Yeah, it's pro-woman. This was a significant time for women, and like jiu-jitsu is cool. I obviously love jiu-jitsu, so it just seemed like a pretty cool thing to have tattooed on me, honestly.
This brings up something else because I've taught a women's self-defense for years. Since I was a blue belt, I started teaching a women's self-defense course. Linda's been doing that with me for a long time as well. Something that I noticed, and it's something I like to talk about, especially like with a more beginnerish lady who has a boyfriend or significant other that doesn't train. One of my pet peeves and something that drives me nuts is when a female comes to my women's self-defense class and they learn something. They go home to their boyfriend or husband and they say, look what I learned in class today. And their boyfriend or husband does everything they fucking can to shut it down and show them why it's shit.
And say it doesn't work.
Yeah, and I don't understand that. Like, that's probably one of the biggest pet peeves I have, and one of the things that, like, I just, like, if you love this woman and you care about her and she's trying to do something to improve herself or help assist her in her safety, like when you know you can't be there, whatever, like I don't understand why a man would like degrade that what she's doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how many
Yeah.
times you guys have run into it. Maybe you have some opinions on it too.
It's always annoyed me, but I also say, like, you know, you're someone who's knowingly trying to defeat something we just told you.
Yeah.
So it's so different because, like, you know what I'm trying to do because I just showed you what I'm trying to do. Still, if you're someone that has no knowledge of anything, I think it's completely different. It used to really make me mad too. This happened all the time, actually, with one of my girls and their husband.
Mm-hmm. Linda, how do you feel about this?
I think it happens. I think it's a shame that it not only happens with your husband, who you trust and you're trying to get him to be enthusiastic with you, but this also happens with teammates too, like Dani hinted on. They already know what you're trying to do. You've shown it to them, and now they're going to shut you down. They're going to tense up. I think it's just something that happens as part of the process, especially when you're a beginner and you don't realize, well, this is what I learned, and I'm going to try this. And if they resist in that way, I'm just going to move on to something else. This wouldn't even be what I use. I think it's hard as a beginner to understand that you're just going to move on to something else. But that's what they need to understand. And I think it's just in shame in general, like you had pointed out, Gina, that a husband can't just be supportive for the beginning part of it as they're a beginner. They don't understand because they don't train that there's going to be a follow-up to it, and that they just need to be supportive.
Yeah, and unfortunately it's something that happens, and I have to say, don't go home and try this on somebody, because I don't want you to be put in the situation where they're going to show you why it doesn't work. It's very frustrating, I think, because I have a really hard time understanding why someone would do that. I don't really I actually had that happen to me. Like, when I first started jiu-jitsu, I was married. And I was like, oh, like, I'm learning this stuff. And he would be like, oh, that stupid shit ain't gonna work on me. And so, like, I remember getting pinned down with my arms down, and I couldn't do anything about it. And I went to my coach. I'm like, well, this is what happened. Of course, they showed me the technique, but I stuck with it. But it was a little bit discouraging that, wow, nothing I'm doing is working, and it's supposed to be, like, size doesn't matter. But I will say, because I told this story too, I think it was 6 months later, it was like, oh, try that shit on me again. And I actually got a guillotine, choked him, and he got pissed at me, cussed me out, and said, don't ever do that shit on me again. And, it eventually did work. But, I've actually had that experience. I've experienced it, and then I've had girls come to me who are experiencing it. And I'll say, at the time that I was married, like, the person I was married to did not care about me. They did care about me. I guess I still to this day can't understand why it was important for them to degrade what it is I was learning. Like, that's still something that doesn't really make sense to me. And Linda, you're kind of in a different situation too, I think, to where you might have a hard time understanding that situation, because, like, you outrank your husband, but you also are a fighter that he is super supportive of, if you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I do. I think I am lucky enough that I haven't experienced this, and it's actually, I don't believe it's due to the fact that I outrank my husband or that I fight. My husband is a very big 200-pound blue belt. Mm-hmm. I do believe that if he wanted to shut a lot of things of mine down, he could. He's very strong. Mm-hmm. However, I also believe that I started before my husband, and I've gotten lucky enough in life that Chris was a good one from the beginning. He's mm-hmm. always been a supportive type of guy, no matter what I did. Whether, even when we first got into building bikes, we were working on motorcycles. He liked motorcycles. I liked motorcycles. He says, do you know what? Get on a motorcycle. Start racing. I'll help you. I'll build them. And he's always been one of those husbands he's behind me. He's in my corner at fights. He's holding pads for me. He does absolutely everything he can because it personally makes him happy to see me happy. And I think that makes a huge difference in your relationship. If I think if you have somebody that wants to purely see you happy, then they're going to kind of help you along that process. And if they're educated in something, they're going to understand that, okay, well, she's just starting to learn this. I wasn't very good at motorcycle racing necessarily when I first started, but he didn't break me down and say, well, never mind, Linda, I guess you're just slow. No, he helped me understand how to shift and timing with shifts and braking and stuff like that properly. You're not good at anything when you first start, and if you have somebody that truly cares about your success and you growing as a person, they'll help you rather than shut you down. Even if you come to them and maybe they do know a little bit about jiu-jitsu and they're like, whatever you're learning, it's not right. I am shutting this down. Maybe they help you a little bit further. Do you know what? Maybe you should go to your coach and ask about this or that instead of just jiu-jitsu doesn't work on me. You know, I think that's what makes a difference, is having somebody that truly, really deeply cares about your happiness.
Right. To kind of follow up a little bit about training, we talked about training, how we're not able to train that much, and things like that. So I've seen a lot of posts on social media talking about how, like, I've not been training and this is what it feels like when my body isn't wrecked. Now, I think anybody that knows me and knows Linda, and if they've rolled with Dani, they know we like to work pretty hard, roll hard, not maliciously going after things, but I do think that we really appreciate the hard rolls. How's your body feeling on this little break? Do you feel like it's being good for your body, or do you feel like it's worth it, or are you maybe feeling a little worse actually?
For me personally, I feel I am enjoying the break a little bit because I had an ankle injury that was bothering me. However, and it is allowing that to heal, and I'm feeling a lot better. But at the same time, like you said, there's nothing I enjoy more than hard training. So I'm easing here and there on certain things. Like, it used to really irritate me to kick pads with my ankle. So I took a couple of weeks and I laid off hard kicking of pads with a bag or anything like that. And I really worked on just my hands and boxing. And I think it gives you that freedom to work on specific things you want to work on and rest certain things. But I love to train hard. So whatever does feel good, I'm going ahead and training hard with it and getting after it. And yeah, I am taking this time a little bit to baby things here and there, but I feel about like I always do, honestly.
Dani, how about you?
I have been down to train a few times. I've been working actually with a lot of the different entries, like leg lock entries, because I only had like one partner really. So I could work a lot of the different things that I don't usually. I'm not technically allowed to do like locks yet, so doing those things are kind of a little more fun for me because I don't get to do them in competition. So it's been fun to learn things I wouldn't usually learn. I have some time to like go into that versus just watching it on YouTube and maybe trying it once. I'm actually drilling it every day and like putting some time behind it. So hopefully I just get better.
Gotcha. For me, like, they talk about like your body recovering, repairing, and things like that. Like, I'm still working out 2 and 3 times a day myself as well. Jiu-jitsu, yoga, running, biking, lifting, things like that. So other than like hard rolling, I don't have I'm not having very much of that. But I don't know that I feel better per se, because like I started to laugh and I threw my head back to laugh and I actually threw my neck. And I haven't like thrown my neck out in quite a while, so I don't know if this is good for me or not. It is. She like has been doing this thing where I get on film, she wants to go crazy. Sorry, that's my baby. But I don't know. Anyways, other than that, anything else you guys want to add?
I don't have much new, but I'll be excited to show you guys my jiu-jitsu tattoo when it's over.
How much longer till it's done?
I don't know. Wait a minute.
How big is it?
It's pretty big. It's the size. It's about 6.5 inches.
Looks like that's the size of her whole calf.
I know it does, doesn't it?
6.5, 7 inches long.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's the size of her whole calf.
Hear them now.
Uh-oh, she can't hear us. Well, anyways, Linda, I don't really have anything else to add.
No, just excited to get back to training one day.
Yeah, same here. Oh, she just clicked off. One thing I did read, and you'll kind of get a kick out of this, with all these different things that are like being talked about and this, that, and the other. A new thing is toxic positivity.
Oh, I've been seeing a couple of posts about this.
How do you feel? Go ahead.
How people are posting too much about how they're so productive during the quarantine, and not to make people that are unproductive and depressed feel bad about it. Just let them be unproductive and depressed. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, that's the part of toxic positivity, like, but also like that thing of like, instead of being like, trying to think, and crap, I just unadded her. Instead of saying, oh, things will get better and I'm here for you, being like, get over it. Things aren't that bad. So like toxic positivity is, telling somebody to like be positive, but also not listening to their issues.
Yeah.
I don't know. No toxic positivity problems for
I'm not very positive at all ever, so
Wait a minute.
There's no positivity coming from me.
You might be the very one that's the toxic positivity problem, because you're going to be like, get over it.
I am a little bit like that.
Linda admits she's guilty of toxic positivity. How about you, Dani? How do you feel about it?
I'm usually pretty as it is. Like, I got in trouble. Somebody got mad at me on Facebook for saying that Platinum Mike Perry's wife sucks at jiu-jitsu. And they were like,
What?
aren't you supposed to be good to all women that do jiu-jitsu? And I'm like, no, I think she sucks.
Who?
And someone got mad at me because, okay, Submission Underground?
Uh-huh.
It's done by Chael Sonnen or
Yeah.
whatever. Okay, well, Danielle Perry, who is the UFC fighter, Mike Perry, he's a very extreme personality. He's like he is who he is type deal. Okay, very outspoken. He fought Cowboy, but Cowboy beat him. That was the last fight I think he had.
Okay.
Anyways, he has a wife, and she's super like, I don't know, whatever she is, but she's a white belt, and they put her in the Submission Underground, and she got beat and choked. And I said, wow, shocker. Mike Perry's wife doesn't know jiu-jitsu, but like Mike Perry's not good at jiu-jitsu either. So I was just making a statement I thought was funny, because they only let her on the show because she's the UFC fighter's wife. Exactly. Mm-hmm. It was just for that. And that's how they were planning on getting more viewers. But I got in trouble because I said she sucked at jiu-jitsu. I was being discouraging. And I was like, it doesn't mean that just because I'm jiu-jitsu positive for all women, but I will still tell you when you suck. Like, you can still be honest with people.
You can't be too honest on Facebook, Dani. I would be in so much trouble.
I know.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so
I'm allowed to say she sucks, and he's like, you're not being, I thought you were for women's jiu-jitsu, and I'm like, I am, but she's still garbage. Like, garbage is garbage. Women, men, indifferent, children, I don't know.
Speaking of garbage, have you seen the beef going on between the mob wife, Ashley Gambino, and Jennifer Clausius and Sheena Starr?
No, what's happening?
I've not seen it in detail, but I know kind of what's going on.
Okay,
I know they all
happened?
hate each other.
So Ashley
Jenny deleted me on everything.
Yeah, she did me too. But it's okay, because she posts some things that when Linda gets a kick out of it, she thinks I'll appreciate it, she'll show me. So it's still good.
Damn, I need in that group chat.
So, and I don't have a problem with Jennifer Clausius. The only thing that like she ever said that like kind of rubbed me wrong was like she's like, I'm not in a cult because of 10th Planet, and you know, like for me, I'm like very 10th Planet for life. So it was you know, to kind of like she kind of lagged on my organization and something I'm very passionate about. So that would probably be something that I was kind of like, ugh, but I still don't have a problem with her, and I like some of the stuff she posts, and I don't really mind the way that she presents herself either. Like she does a good job of marketing herself. But Ashley Gambino is the mob wife, and like she's had a few babies and like been in like she's the one who like boxes people for money on Fremont Street. Okay, that's another way to explain her.
Okay.
She like sparred with she was in Ohio, and her husband is like, I don't know, 400 pounds or something, and he's her trainer. And she was in Ohio, and like she had a video sparring with what was that girl's name that was in Ohio? I can't remember her name. I can't remember her name. But anyway, she started talking shit about sparring, like a sparring session with this girl who was like a legitimate pro fighter. And she's like, I'll put the video out there. And so that's when I first knew who she was and knew that people just absolutely hated her. Then she moved to Vegas and started like boxing people for money on Fremont Street. And I think she got shut down by the officials. You can't like box people for real for money on Fremont Street. But Sheena Starr is the girl who does the bare knuckle boxing, who wore the shirt Hillary Clinton is a cunt, and it's like been everywhere. So her and Sheena Starr, I guess, fucking hate each other. And like Sheena says that Gambino is a prostitute, which I don't know. Like she posts a lot of stuff like with just her nipples covered with stars and like ass shots and I don't know. Like I don't really know what she's got going on other than she has like that. You could do like a pay Instagram or a pay Snapchat or something. Like obviously methods of making money that I'm not jumping on because I have no idea what it is. But apparently Jennifer Clausius is now, and I don't know if I said her name right, is in on it too and fucking hates Gambino because I guess her husband said some shit about her too. So they got on, what's that guy's name that does the podcast, Linda?
I don't know, but I did see I did see that it was there.
I go to Sheena Starr's site and you'll watch it. And Jennifer Clausius is like, bitch, you look like a foot, and going fucking off.
I saw that. I saw some of it, yeah.
It was like, I wish Bad Girls Club was still on and like you could vote people on, because I'd be like, come on, Jen. And I'd be team Jennifer Clausius all day on Bad Girls Club. She'd be so good for that show. I'm telling you, she would. But anyways,
it would have all the ratings, all the good ratings.
She would be a good fit. I'm telling you, she'd be a good fit for that show. But anyway, she like flipped the fuck out on Ashley Gambino, and like I guess like they were getting into like this verbal sparring match. So what you guys need to do is go to Sheena Starr's Facebook, where she has the link posted. And you can vote on who got the round 10-8, 10-9, and see who won.
Oh, this sounds interesting.
The internet is wild.
It is. Lacey Hancock says she's been following that shit for a while. I think if you've been involved in WMMA for a long time, then you've been following it. So Clausius got my vote. She verbally rung her bell. It was pretty good. Linda, you got anything to add before we let you go?
No, I'm just glad we got to talk about that.
That's Linda's favorite subject.
I know.
She likes to stir the tea.
Linda loves, like, she's like an undercover drama queen.
She is. You would never know that Linda's about the drama, but she does it so well.
She's a fucking undercover drama queen. Like, she'll be like, so what's happening? I'm like, oh, well, let me tell you all this stuff going on. She'll be like, really? And she'll love it and listen. And her husband, Chris,
he likes it just as much. He be in the pot too. He's always up in here.
Oh, Chris is horrible.
Chris is always asking me what the tea is.
Oh, well, me and him will get together and be like, hey, did you see what happened on Facebook? He'll be like, fuck yeah. Or he'll send me a screenshot of some shit going down.
Yeah, I love it. Like, and Chris is loyal. He'll always let me know when he knows something.
Yep.
He's
So-
loyal as hell.
So Chris isn't just supportive of Linda. He's supportive of a pretty good group of gals and making sure that you're on the up and up for some of this drama that goes
I always know when the shit's about to go down.
on.
Oh, he's supportive of Team Linda. Like when you kicked your door down and he had to go replace the molding for you.
Shh. Shh.
Wait, what?
Nothing, Danny. You don't know about that life.
Chris is the gym husband.
I'm pretty sure one morning I was still drunk and I wrote you and I was like, I just fought some boy's girlfriend at the bar.
You did. It was after the fights.
And I was like, I just fought somebody at a bar. Oh my
You're like,
god!
I just got in a fight with one of my teammates' girlfriends, and I'm like, oh my god, did you win?
I was like, I don't know, but I was so drunk that I was being completely fucking honest. So I was like, I honestly don't know if I won. Like, I just know I have a bunch of bloody marks all over me, and she has a black eye because he wrote me and told me he was mad.
Linda, you ever been in a street fight?
Done.
Oh gosh, no, probably not. I would back you if you got in a street fight, but I've never gotten in a street fight before. I do not even know how.
That's going to be a mission after this is all over, Danny. We'll take Linda out and see if we can get her in a street fight.
My tattoo is on there. It's on.
Oh,
I'll post it later to the.
awesome. All right, so if anybody needs to get a tattoo done in their home, who do they contact?
No, not me. I don't even know this man. I don't know him. But anyways, that's that.
All right, Linda, we'll let you go, and Danny and I will wrap it up.
Okay, thank you guys.
See ya.
Bye, Linda.
So we covered a lot of topics today. You're upside down.
There we go.
There you go.
I'm back now.
We covered a lot of topics today.
I got my first ever Bwjjc tattoo. You have a Bwjjc tattoo.
I do.
What inspired your idea?
I just like to heel hook people. Like, I love it. Like, I just crank ankles all day. So that was mine.
How big it is?
Nice. That's big.
It's a, but she's basically dressed like a suffragette. It was back in the day when women didn't even have the right to vote.
Mm-hmm.
And she's noted as like, other than like the Gracie family bringing like Bwjjc in from Brazil, she taught women how to like rear naked choke. Kimura grips were super important. She knew how to judo throw people, and so she would teach self-defense classes. And I just thought it was really cool, and the fact that she's doing it to a cop's kind of cool because it's kind of relevant to present time as well. But so I liked it.
Just one more time for people that might want to check that out. What's her name again?
Edith, I think Edith Margaret.
Okay. And
but I'll post it when I make an Instagram post. I think I'm gonna post like the original girl who, like, you know, what I believe was like a start of true Bwjjc teaching between women. Not to say men weren't learning it or learning all types of different kinds, but times were different, you know. Women didn't have an opportunity like men did, so we kind of created our own. And these were some of the women that just started having their own classes. They disguised them a lot of times. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome. Well, we didn't get Lucy on today. Something must have come up. She's still working, right?
She is still working. Lucy works from home. She's my teammate. And she does have a, you know, she has a job that she can do from her home office. So her stuff hasn't really changed at all. She said she's still working almost regular hours Monday through Friday.
Wow. Okay. All right then. So Danny, before we go, tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
I'm on Instagram at Dani M California, from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I'm on Facebook. You can find me through the Bluegrass Women's Jiu-Jitsu Club. But yeah, that's it.
All right, guys. So thanks for tuning in. This is Gina E10P. You can find me on all forms of social media through there. And then also, don't forget to check out the Bluegrass Women's Jiu-Jitsu Club page, Facebook, and Instagram. See you guys.